So hi guys, how are you all doing today? Welcome back to my channel. How are you? How have you all been? I hope you're all still keeping safe. Of course, with the pandemic out there, I hope you all are keeping safe. We are trying our best over here in Europe. It's not been easy, but it's better to be safe than sorry. So today, first of all, I'm going to start with what a week. What a week. I mean, we started the week, of course, everyone was anticipating, the Harry and Meghan interview, but the bombshell was what? It was winner, Yeah, everybody understand what I'm saying. All right, so let's start from that. So let's start from the beginning. What a week. So the week, of course, started with Harry and Meghan, with their tell-all interview with Oprah. Now, one thing I just want to talk about is that, listen, truthfully, I wasn't really bothered about the whole shenanigans. Truthfully, for me, if they wanted to leave the royal family, I mean, everyone has a choice to do what they want to do. But then I think what we all heard was pretty damning, as in, oh my God, I mean, okay, so let's start from me. I just picked the ones that were really telling for me. First of all, let's go down to the integrity of the whole thing. The racism thing I mean, you can do anything to a mom and a dad. You can do anything to parents, but when you come to their children, truthfully, that's where I draw the line. And I think, in my opinion, I think that probably that was one of the major reasons why Harry decided, listen, fuck this, we're done, So, I mean, talking about the color of a baby before the baby is born, I mean, what form of prejudice already exists? I mean, some people would say, are they surprised? I am surprised and I'm not surprised in the sense that, of course, the royal family it's a foundation that was built out of colonialism, racism, and what have you. The atrocities that the British government has committed all over the world, and not just Britain, but a lot of countries, westernized countries. I mean, we cannot, reparations. Look, the annoying thing is that many of these countries who are colonialists, France included, have not begun to talk about reparations. They are still behaving like the Lord and Master that they want everyone to think that they are, So, I mean, when you have to go down to talking about the baby's skin color you haven't even met, I mean, that takes the cake, And I mean, it's a sad tale. It's a sad story, and it's really shameful. And I always think, and from my point of view and my analysis, I think that for them they love the idea of, oh, we are accepting a black person, a black woman into the royal family, but it did not really, in practice, it wasn't what they were looking for. Then one of the things I also want to talk about was when they also talked about she talked about her mental health. When Meghan talked about her mental health, and if you've listened to my previous videos, about 2 or 3, or even some, a year or ago back, I talked about mental health, self-care, self-love, taking care of your mental health and your mental space. I'm going to attach those videos to this video as well, And there is nothing, listen, there is no way we cannot, there is nothing we can never, ever, ever, ever do that makes that will make you feel better if your mental health is in shambles. And this is such an important factor of life. Growing up in Africa, in Nigeria precisely, I recall then, anytime, you hear people talking about psychological problems, or then we hear people talking about depression, you're like, what are they talking about? And then, at that time you're kids, you don't really get it, you don't understand it. And then you're growing, you're seeing things, you're in life, and you actually begin to understand what it means for you to be drained emotionally, psychologically, physically. You just don't want to do anything. You just feel like dying. You just want to end it. And then she sought for help. And that's the thing here. Okay? That's the thing that really, it's painful. She sought for help. She reached out. Okay? And I'm going to put this in this video. If you are someone who is having suicidal thoughts, please reach out. Look and seek for help. And that act of not extending her the help she needed alone is wicked. Because in my head, I'm thinking, do they want her to commit suicide and say, and it will now be like one of those tragic princess stories? Or were they hoping that, okay, I can't do this anymore, Harry, we have to divorce, I can't. Then they're going to come up with the headline about how she became a money-grabbing, title, seeking whore. Or were they looking for, because for me, in my opinion, they were looking for some headline somewhere where she was going to throw in the towel and say, I'm done. And for them to have denied her the help she sought, that's wicked. That's very wicked. And seriously, I don't know how they are thinking about going and, thinking about, creating or trying to repair this damage. Because as it is, it just belittles the whole institution called the royal family. It belittles the whole institution. I'm sorry. There is nothing to look forward to. There is absolutely nothing to look forward to there. So, when one is like, the princess, it's the fairy tale is crap. That thing, it doesn't exist. Only in their world, but it does not exist. Okay? And it's not what we all think it is at all. That is, if you ask me, probably they were looking for a modern day slave in the form of, I don't know what they were thinking, or I don't know what they were looking for. Now let's come down to Harry. At the end of the day, what I actually saw in this video was Harry, a son, a brother, a grandson, a veteran. I saw a charity worker who was sad. In all honesty, that was what I saw. I saw someone who was unhappy. And in truth, in all of this, Harry is the one who has so much to lose. He has so much to lose in the event that this marriage doesn't work. He has so much. He has already lost a lot from a father who rejected him. And this is, again, Harry has kept on saying history replaying itself. I kept on asking and wondering, why does he keep saying that? And it just made sense. His mom, Princess Diana, was stifled. She was in a place where she was crying and seeking for help. She spoke to the man whom she was made to believe was her husband, her prince, her protector. And he totally turned away, looked away, ignored her, and made her feel like she was running mad. But she was a fighter. She needed to fight. She knew that was the only way she could get herself back. And at the time, it seemed like she was getting herself back. Boom! She was killed in a car crash accident. Okay? So at the end of the day, we see that this is actually history replaying itself. His own father turned his back on him. I'm not interested in the inheritance money. That's their cup of tea. Harry's a grown man. But, when your son, your child, looks back and, believes or thinks, I still have a father, I still have a dad, and then there is no dad, he turns away, he turns away and turns back and does not look back and doesn't even pick your calls or even speak to you. That's another level of hurt. And this is not just father, mother, name it. It's another level of hurt. And he has been so brave and so, good to be able to show this brave, courageous front. But you could see it, that the poor chap was sad. I'm not talking about the fact that he doesn't have a good relationship with his brother at the moment. And I mean, we all saw them grow. I mean, I recall when they were born, we all saw this on TV. We all saw it play out on TV. And looking at them today, and we've all seen how close they could be, the little, asides they used to have, and they would laugh, and here we are today. So, I really hope and pray for him that he gets his brother back, because that is his ride or die. He's got no other brother. That's the person, that's his person. And I pray and I pray and I pray he gets his brother back. Now, another thing again, I wanted to talk about again was the title for the kids. And it's so reeked of discrimination and racism and what have you. It reeked of it. Because normally, even if they did not want to recognize the Duchess, even whatever, the kids, Harry's children, deserve their titles. Which brings us to the question of this title holding and blah, 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 blah. Is it causing more harm than good right now? Because, I mean, it reeks of everything. Listen, if, the likes of Piers Morgan, who say, I don't believe anything she said, that's his business, that guy needs to get a life, even if the likes of them have to say crap like that. But when she now had to say, that she was being racist too, and let's assume we don't believe her, but then the kids don't have titles, then I would believe her, because that's what it is. The children were discriminated against, and just because of the fact that their mom was black. For the question of the color of the skin of the children being raised, and the children were not given titles, that hits home that she's saying the truth. And again, we keep on asking, the institution, the firm, the institution, the queen, they're all the same one person. Because the giving of title lies in her hands. So why weren't Harry's son and soon-to-be daughter given a title? Or their titles? Thank you. Next item on the agenda is Piers Morgan. I'm not even worried. I'm not even bothered. What? I need to stop seeing that guy's face on TV, as in totally. I need to really, really stop seeing his face on TV. He's rude. He's obnoxious. He's arrogant. He is obtuse. I'm sorry. It's just how it is. It's just what it is. It's horrible. He is horrible. So good riddance. I don't have much to say about that. Then the last thing I'm going to talk about, which hurts me, is Pepe Le Pew. So Warner Bros. Oh God, decided to ask Pepe Le Pew from the new coming movie, Looney Tunes. Why? Now listen, you guys. The cancel culture. Listen, there are people blaming the cancel culture. I don't know, but personally, I talked about this in my WhatsApp group yesterday, and I was saying, I think the cancel culture, okay, is doing more harm than it is doing good. If it is based on the cancel culture, I mean, the excuses they gave was the fact that Pepe happened to be, rapist. Okay, he was coined. Listen, Pepe Le Pew is supposed to be a Randy skunk, and this is, a character that is coined up out of the Randy. I mean, it's coined out of French people. I mean, let's, I mean, duh. If you know anything about the French, having extramarital affairs is not a big deal. I mean, it's your private life. They call it vie privée. If you know anything about the French, having illegitimate children is not a big deal at all. In fact, there is a law that protects that. So you cannot have DNA testing to verify paternity or if any of those things in France. Yes. So Pepe Le Pew is just a character that was actually coined to represent a certain group of people. Excuse me. Listen, guys, I'm not being callous here, and I'm not saying that French people are rapists, please. But then I think the idea of Pepe Le Pew is the fact that he tends to he's randy. That's the word for me. He's randy, not a rapist. So I think I'm gonna cross the word rapist from there and use the word randy. And then of course locking up. Have you guys seen? Anyway, let's not go there. I don't want to digress. So, what I'm just saying in a nutshell is this: that rather than we, throw away certain, because I grew up with Pepe. I don't want to see. This is like erasing my childhood. I don't want to see my childhood erased. I don't want to see, something that made me laugh erased. My son watches Looney Tunes today. When I sit down, I watch cartoons till today. I love cartoons. I'm a cartoon person. Yes, I do love cartoons. I watch cartoons well, So when I have to sit down with my son and we're watching the same thing, I've watched, before, probably, new episodes and stuff like that. It makes my heart warm. It's just like telling me tomorrow that Sesame Street is going to be axed because of Oscar the Grouch. That's a part of my childhood that I want to see. I want to keep reliving. So I'm thinking, rather than cancel Pepe Le Pew, why don't we improve on Pepe Le Pew's character? I think that is more of an education. If we are able to, improve on the character, show the character transition from the times into a new era where he has learned his lesson. He is no longer Pepe Le Pew, the randy skunk, but he's now Pepe Le Pew, the gentleman. And, we also show Pepe Le Pew actually apologizing, because one of the things about some of these people, aka the former president of the United States, that, shit on people's, rights and stuff, is that many of them do not actually come out to say, I'm sorry, aka Piers Morgan, who said he stands by what he said yesterday. Yes, but at the end of the day, the word sorry goes along with the word saying, I apologize, I'm sorry. So I think it's also going to be a good way to teach our kids and, coming generations as well. And those of us who, grew up with this and saying, oh, Pepe Le Pew is now reformed. Yes, I would take a reformed Pepe Le Pew. Why do we have to cancel him? Why does he have to be removed? Why does Pepe Le Pew have to stop existing? Why? Please, who's got the answer? Put it in the comment section below. Thank you. Okay, guys. So yes, this brings me to the end of my video. Thank you all so much for being here. Thank you all so much for listening. Thank you all so much for being a part of this family. And please subscribe, share this video, have a laugh. Please, it's the weekend. It's been so heavy this week. So have a laugh, with this video. This video is not here to bash anybody. It's not meant to do any of those things. This video is just for fun and to talk about the fact that there are so many things that are so wrong in the society and it should not be. Please let Pepe Le Pew be. Thank you. And until my next video, bye-bye. I love you all.